All right, coming to you today with a little pressing session with Hunter. This is our typical warm up. I'm just going to let this play in the background while I kind of give you some intro. We always do dumbbell presses, something like 30 reps, super lightweight, get everything warmed up, go into a little bit of reverse pec deck, and then usually like light hammer curls before we press for anything. So, I'll say this was probably my second in a row frustrating pressing day. I think me and Hunter both feel like we're a little bit behind on log overall for this upcoming contest. And for me, just to be straight honest, I think I thought I was just better at log. In the past, I've done a 300 log before clean and press, and maybe it was harder than I remember or what, but definitely was feeling a little bit frustrated on this day. You're going to see here I started with 200 pounds. This was the first clean and press, and this felt fine. I didn't have a belt or wrist wraps or anything. Good clean, easy press. You can see I'm definitely overweight right now. My belly's hanging out. I'm like 345 pounds. That's another problem I have right now. I'm heavier than I want to be. I definitely wanted to go through a growth phase. I had some weaknesses just in powerlifting that I wanted to bring up, so I've let my body grow, but I'm probably bigger than I want to be, and it takes away from recovery and overall cardio and everything like that. But yeah, so I went right up to like 250. My goal was actually to work up to like 285 clean and press today, because that's what we're going to do in the contest. And I knew it was probably questionable because I'm super, super fatigued. I've put together a lot of big lifts, which were well-timed, in my opinion, for this prep. I did 705 for 3 deadlift. I've done 645 for 4 on the Buffalo bar for squats. All recently enough, and a lot of them were strung together. So my back was tired and fatigued, and we've been doing these high-volume training sessions. So I just didn't get the pop on the clean that I was looking for with 250. And so I think if I would have got it up to my shoulders, pressing it would have been a joke. It would have been too easy, but I just, super frustrated. I tried it 2 times and didn't come up. Hunter was having no problem with his plan, which was just 205. So, I asked him at one point if I should try a third, because we were, kind of coaching each other with technique, and Hunter had told me, like, he could tell I wasn't getting my elbows up and my head was going up way before the log. So we eventually worked on chin down, elbows up. I didn't do a very good job of it right there. So, but when I do get the chin down, elbows up, the clean's not hard. So I wanted to try 250 again, but, good training partner, 22-year-old Hunter giving 40-year-old Nick some really good advice, which was just to stick with 205 and just work the technique. And, in retrospect, it's not a bad percentage of the weight we have to use the contest. So it's probably the best plan anyway, because after the deload and all of that, strength will be way higher. PEDs are going to be different during that time. And hopefully, 280 is going to feel a lot lighter on that day than it would have today anyway. So happy to have done that. That one was better. Definitely was feeling like elbows up, chin down, got the cleans a lot better. Hunter was doing Viper press on the first one. So you'll see he gets all that hip drive and he can kind of just press in one motion, and then he would drop into push press. Generally, he was doing 3 reps. On this one, he did 4. That was his last set. And it just looked really good. So at this point, after he did the extra rep, I was feeling motivated by his success. So I decided I was going to get one really good clean here with 205, and then go for some rage reps. I was, I wasn't feeling good about not being able to clean 250, and I wanted to make myself feel better. So sometimes you have to do that, man. I think sometimes just in the gym, you have to do something that feels good to you, feels like an accomplishment. You can pick a lift that you're good at, or a style that you're good at. And for me, that's strict pressing. I don't like to use my legs when I press. I like to just use shoulders. I enjoy log strict press, just the feeling. You do have to use some core stability. So that's what I did. I got a good clean. I was happy with that clean. And then I just started doing strict press reps. And it's funny, in the video, if it's not my voiceover, you would hear Hunter being like, use your legs. Okay, push press this one. And I was just like, nah, I'm going to keep strict pressing them. Until I got to about 8 reps. And then I think I just barely start to bounce a little bit. I knocked out 9.8 reps with that, which I was pretty happy with. And this is terrible video evidence of 150s dumbbell shoulder press for 1. So I got 150s up. I am really, really bad at dumbbell shoulder press because I have terrible bicep tendonitis. I can't kick them up like that, especially when it's a straight back, which that was when I just did those 150s. So Hunter had to put them on my shoulder. which ultimately made for a really bad video because unfortunately Hunter's back was in the frame. But I got the 150s up for one, no problem. Like pretty easy. I don't know, pretty easy, but pretty reasonable. And then the bench we were using here has all wheels on the bottom, which probably makes it really easy to move it around the gym. It's horrible when you just press 150s and you're pushing your feet into the floor. So what happened is like the first rep goes up, and then as I'm coming down, the dumbbells don't land on my shoulders again. They landed on like the top of my pecs, and I was like, my rotators feel like they're going to fall off, so I just chucked them. So I will revenge press 150s with a straight back bench at some point. But today probably wasn't the day for that anyway. I'm fatigued. I was just doing it because I was mad and I wanted to force another PR, which is a terrible training method. This is one of the differences for me, like, because for the last year and a half, I've had a coach and been doing powerlifting. And so it's different when you're on your own and you can come in and just do whatever you want. Because then also if you get frustrated, you can just kind of go for a heavier rep than you should have. So when this strongman comp is over, I'm going back to training under Pete Rubish for powerlifting. We're getting ready for USPA Nationals, where I think I'll do really well. I'm competing as a super heavyweight masters. I don't think there's a lot of guys that are going to squat and deadlift what I'm going to squat and deadlift in that competition, so it should be good. This is something we'd been doing. I went much heavier last time, just some JM presses with the barbell. The last time I went up to 70 kgs and did 12, and I think I had told Hunter, I was like, man, I really feel like I could do like 80 kgs for reps. But, after all the stupidity and everything today and just how I'm feeling, this is the equivalent of 70 kg red plates. And I actually just thought 50 kgs was around there. So I was like, man, this is stupid heavy for me. But it's 70 kgs, so about 154 pounds. It's not bad. So I got some good JM presses in. That's the end of the session.